So we're going to select our page 16 tab here. We're going to add a caption of service contracts. And once we press enter, you should immediately see that. And we're going to be adding a subform to this as well. So let's click here on the More button. And we'll click on our subform. And that launches the wizard. And let's click on Next. We do want to use an existing table. And it is the service contract table. And again, we're going to move all the fields, and then we're going to take customer ID and move it back, because this is all keyed on customer ID. And again, the service contract table is related to our customer table, which is why we can do a subform. And we're going to click on Next. And we'll just take a look. It's going to show the service contracts for each record in the customer table using customer ID, and that is exactly what we want. So we're going to click on Finish. And pretty much just like last time, we do need to move and resize all of the controls. And they want us to get rid of this little label identifying our subform. So you want to click on it and kind of isolate it and then delete it. And then we can click on this. And we can move this up just a little bit and make it a little wider. And then again, we're going to move these controls. And let's make this wider too, because I don't think we're going to have enough room. And we probably do not need start date to be quite so wide. And let's scroll down just a little bit. Move end date next to start date. And again, probably does not need to be so wide. We've got our plan ID. And I'm not done moving them, I'm just moving them up so I can actually see them better. I'll resize this one a little bit. And resize this. And I think date may need to be a little bit wider. Then I'll move this one over. And we'll make start date a little bit wider. And for contract number, make that about as wide as the label. Let's move this over. And we'll move this over. Probably make that just a tad wider. So at this point, I'm going to save. And then we'll take a look here. And what I didn't show you last time was you can actually best fit these. And we'll do the same thing over here. And so let's look through I can see one thing I don't like. The tabs are kind of obscuring cell phone. So I'm going to fix that in a minute. Let's go back over to design view. Yeah, I don't like how that looks. So let me select, I'm going to select this whole structure here. And I'm going to grab the border. I'm going to move that down. Let me save my changes. Yeah, I like that a lot better. Okay, so if you have a similar problem, make sure you go into design view and clicking on either, basically I think I clicked at the top of the tab to get that structure outline, and then you can position over a border and move it if it is obscuring your fields, because that was not the intent of the subform. So at this point, we'll save. We've got 2 tabs in our subform, and we're going to add another tab. So to do that, we're going to right-click on Service Contracts, and we're going to say Insert Page. We're going to click on that. That gives us another tab. And in our property sheet, we're going to add a caption for this one of orders. Okay, and just like with the other ones, we are going to add that subform. So as long as the wizard is still on, you click on your subform button, and then we'll click in the upper left corner. And as you can imagine, we are going to be connecting this to the work order table. So we do want to use an existing one, and we do want work orders. And we do not want all of the fields. Okay, so for this one, we're going to move over work order date, and description. And you can see this table does have customer ID. That is how it is connected with our customer table. Okay, and these are only the 3 fields that we want showing. So we're going to go ahead and click on next. Show work orders for each record in customers using customer ID. That is exactly what we want. So we're going to click on finish. And just like the other ones, they do want us to kind of reposition these. So let's get rid of the work order subform label by selecting it and deleting. And then let's move this up a little bit, up and over. And then we'll make it extend so it fills. And then let's start moving our controls. And I don't think this one is going to be difficult. There's only 3 of them. Although description is going to need more space. Let's get the date up here. Let's scroll down just a tad here and get the description. And as I mentioned, this is going to take up the majority of the space. And let's go ahead and save. And then we're going to go over into form view and take a look at it. And again, you can double click and best fit this. And then we're going to go ahead and save our changes. And I think this is still a little close to cell phone, so I'm going to go back over. And let me click at the top here. And just try moving this down. I don't like it so close. Okay, and at this point, I'm going to save this. And we are done with the form. So as long as you are satisfied with how it looks, Save. We'll save it and we'll close it. And then if you needed to make any kind of change, you can double click. That will open it. And what you may or may not have noticed is that the subforms are listed here too. And if you needed to, you certainly can open them and modify them in here as well. A little issue with work order date here. Let me close all of them. Okay, and at this point I am done, so I'm going to right click and close.